Ta-da! I'm just getting used to being with all of you. I'm not used to it yet. All of my life, I've always known, and you too, ever since I was a little baby, I knew that love was the way. And when I was a little baby, I was in my crib, and I knew I should be getting snuggled right now. I shouldn't be bored like this. And then when I was a toddler, I knew, by the way, I want you to go get a blanket. So while I'm talking to you about being a baby, like, you get a blanket. See how I have a blanket? I'm gonna make it nice and smooth. And we're gonna do some yoga. Would you like that? Of course you would. We're going to get all stretchy. Do you want to get stretchy? I don't want to do yoga. I just want to watch TikTok. Oh, of course you want to do the yoga. You love yoga. So go get your blankie. See, I have my blankie. Now you go get your blankie. I want to do yoga. Okay, you don't have to do yoga if you don't want to, but if you want, you could do yoga and you could also listen to me. How does that sound? When you were a little baby, you wanted to get picked up and there was not enough caregivers. So as for me too, we grew up in domination systems. We were snuggle suppressed. As a snuggle suppressed baby, you must re-snuggle yourself. Re-snuggle yourself. Use your fingertips. Look at how cute you are. You are a little baby. Oh, you're so cute. Look at you. You are a wise baby. Yes. You could feel the energy of every single nervous system. You can feel. That's why you'll go to ugly, stinky people. But someone beautiful and polished, you could feel their energy and maybe they're having a hard day, they're stressed out, or you could just tell if someone cares about you and loves you because you're a baby. You're so cute. Get over here, you little baby. Give me your cute little toes. You're so cute. Begin to focus on your breath. I want you to exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. You could do this at the top. Sniff. Don't exhale yet. Keep expanding. And you can only inhale so much, but you could sniff forever. Puff your lungs. And now exhale. Curl your tongue. At the end, push out. Make like a HAA. Draw your belly up a bit. Experience emptiness. And that. Inhale. You are in your parasympathetic nervous system. Don't be a blinga blanga. Okay? Relax. A blinga blanga. That's your sympathetic nervous system. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn, fuck. Now, if you favor fighting, that is a disorganized attachment style. There's 4. You could look them up if you want to see. But usually we have a little bit of everything. If you favor running away, flight. So there's fight, disorganized, flight. If you favor running away, then you are dismissive, avoidant attachment style. If you prefer fawning, fight, flight, fawn. Fawning is anxious, preoccupied attachment style in my dupa suite. Then there is freeze, and freeze is kind of like outcasting. That's not very nice. And we want unconditional belonging. My sweethearts, we're too lovey-dovey. To outcast, that's freezing. And then, you know how the culture's all about exploiting each other's bodies, and if you're beautiful, then, you know, that could be sold. So it's F-U-C-K, that's the fifth F, right? So we don't want a culture like that. We want a culture that's lovey-dovey. We want a culture that's about our truth. So guess what? I have a phone call scheduled with Donald Trump. Oh, let me get him on the phone. So he already called me, but I didn't want to answer because I needed to do a little yoga. So we're going to call him back. Let's just stretch a little. I can't wait to talk to Donald Trump. Donald Trump heard I wanted to talk to him, and the officials said, "What do you want us to say?" I said, "Tell him he's a lovable scooboo." So then he said, "I know, she's lovable scooboo too." So we're gonna talk on the phone. Should I call him right now? I'm kind of nervous. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's just do it. Hello? Trumpy Poo, what's up? Oh, is this Daisy? Hey, Daisy. You're my best friend. I'm best friends with everyone. Everyone loves me and I love everyone. Daisy, I can't believe I'm finally on the phone with you. You know, I got a picture of you on my wall right next to baby Jesus. Donald Trump, my mom has a picture of you on the wall right next to baby Jesus. I know, I am baby Jesus. I'm baby Jesus because I know about the swampland. It's disgusting. All those officials and the politicians, they are swamp-a-glump. They are swamp-a-glump. You know, I'm glad that you read my email. So the swamp-a-glump, as soon as you said that, I was like, it is a swamp-a-glump. You gotta go train that. Go train the swamp-a-glump. Oh yeah, gotta train the swamp-glump. And then we're gonna use a lot of control. We're gonna build walls. Oh, they will be magnificent. They are gonna keep out all of the violent gangsters, the enemies and the bad ones who do the bad things. They will not come. That's because you are a genius. You are like a Jesus, Trump, because you make my back pop out. My jaw gets more relaxed, and I'm like, oh, what's he gonna do next? It's like you kind of remind me of me, Donald Trump. You're so cute and lovable and sweet. And I know with all of your yelling that you really want to drain the swamp. Like, the reason I keep redirecting the conversation to the swamp is because the muckaglump is, if we stay laser focused just on muckaglump, we could do something about it. If we start talking about a schlump and a blanc and a blah, then we're going to be like too scattered. So I just want to focus on, you said drain the swamp. So, Trump, I got an idea. Do you have a little bit of capacity to hear me? I know that your time's super valuable.
Oh, Daisy, I've been wanting to talk to you for so long. Daisy, everyone loves me so much. Everyone always wants to talk to me all day long, and they tell me how wonderful I am. But I really want to talk to you, so let's keep talking for a while.
I love it. Trump, you're so, look how handsome you are. Trump, I don't know why people always be talking about your looks. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. When you say drain the swamp, you guys do some pretty low blows. As politicians, you guys be talking about each other's looks. You guys be putting each other down. And as far as I'm concerned, you guys are kings and queens. You guys are very, very above average in looks. I would say you are gorgeous. Inside and out. And we really need to drain this swamp, Trump. So I was thinking, how about I kidnap you? I will come in with a tickle torture device. And all of the National Guard will come. In fact, I will tell them, call the National Guard. With my tickle torture device, I will be like, tickle. And they will be like, check the penal code. Check it. And Secret Service will be like, there is no penal code for tickle torture, and we do not have any defense systems in place for this. Oh, Trump, I will kidnap you. It'll be like such a show. You are a star. You're a performer.
I am.
And you should be on Broadway. So the world will love it. Like, remember when the bullet went whoosh and almost killed you? Well, everyone thought I died too. This girl on the beach died. Everyone thought it was me. Trump, I'm just like you.
I know we so much alike.
I know we are. And here's what I was thinking. I'll tickle torture you. And
I can't take tickle torture.
that's the best part. I'll just do like an air tickle torture. I don't know. I'll feel into it. Don't get really scared. I know how tumultuous tickle torture could be. It's really diabolical. Can't even think about it. So here's the thing. Secret Services, when you get kidnapped, then you will be separated from the swamp. I will drop in. I will drop a love atomic bomb. I've already checked. See, the feds came in. They arrested me for a love bomb threat. There's no penal code for a love bomb threat. It's just made with empathy and bliss and joy and harmony, and everyone's needs getting met by collaborating and not controlling and forcing. In fact, we use the most amount of love and care. And by draining the swamp, Trump, see, we need you to be separate because we're going to drop a love atomic bomb. And then we'll tickle torture. Tickle. And then, see, you have the mystical, magical powers of actor. You are an actor. You are on TV. You're a star. So you go get the movie stars. I'll drop the love atomic bomb. Then make sure Secret Service is not recording. After that, everyone will be in a state of bliss. In this state of ecstasy, they will only think about how lovable they are. And with the twinkle in their eye, I'll go over and I'll go, oh, dooba-doo, boop, boop. And I will, a dooba-doo, boop, every single one of them on the nose. Boop, boop. Every senator, every congressman, every politician will be there because it will be the engagement of the tickle torture tournaments of the presidents, and all the past presidents will be in the tickle torture tournaments. That's why there won't be that much security around you, because they'll all be in a different circumference area circulating the presidential tickle torture tournament. Trump, we all know you're gonna win. So I'll just come in. Tickle. It's gonna be amazing. It's so funny to think that we waste all of our energy and money on bombs and spend so much of our time and attention and resources on investigating and hiding information and technology.
I know. That's why it's my plan to free us. I'm gonna free us just like Baby Jesus didn't succeed and then Big Jesus did not succeed. I will. And I am kind of like the second coming of Jesus in the way of handsomeness. And because I'm super good looking, everyone loves me. So if you're the most popular in the world, that's kind of like how I'm Jesus, because I'm so popular and so wonderful.
I couldn't agree more, Trump. You're the most lovable scooboo in the whole world. You're so cute.
I know.
But Trump, let's get real. Stop dating women who are with you for your money. You can find a woman who's beautiful, who's you have passion with, and not have these women who are only with you for your money. It's completely obvious. And if you're with women whose skin are crawling when they're with you, of course you're going to use and abuse and mistreat women. Now, you have a lot of gifts, but because of my trauma, I feel compelled to tell you, you are too lovable. And my love lasso of a love engulfed TikTokulosis makes you tell the truth.
I know. I do want true love. And you wouldn't believe the gorgeous women who really want to be with me. They want to be with me for me. There's gorgeous women in my world. Models. The most beautiful models in the world with superpowers. And they're really, really talented and so sweet. And they want to nurture me and love me for me.
Trump, you are a genius and so charismatic. You could have any woman. You could have a beautiful goddess who is at your stage. Doesn't even have to be in your age. The man who I'm in love with is 10 years younger than me. And the way he treats me, it's beautiful. I'm in touch with skills like telepathy. King Big Ben, you know who he is. I don't want to give away King Ben's anonymity, but
Oh, I know all about King Big Ben. Yes, he is in the Space Force, the Alien Task Force. He is a king true, standing at a pure, solid muscle, 6'5", 250 pounds. His eyes sparkle like the cosmos when they are shining from a blast of a sun exploding. He is a king like no other indeed. Oh, yes. So you do know King Big Ben. Well, I want you to know about co-worshipping. And Donald Trump, you could have any woman. You could have a woman who loves you. You could have a woman who could care less if you had nothing. And who is affectionate and all over you. And when you touch her, she never pulls away. That every touch she leans into you. In fact, I wonder what it feels like when you touch a woman and she pulls away. Or I wonder how it feels when you have to pay a woman to be with you. And I know you don't like that. And I've been on the other side of that. And it feels horrible. It feels terrible. And I'm so handsome and good looking and everyone loves me. And goddesses are lined up. And you know, I don't talk to them because I'm true. I'm noble. And I would never, ever dishonor Melania or my children because I am a grand master, king, a god. I am incredible. I know. And I know you would never dishonor those that you love, but
in being with someone who's only with you for your money, don't you dishonor yourself? Donald Trump, you're one of the most gorgeous people that I know. You are so wise. And I don't think you want to rule the world. I don't believe anyone believes that. I believe that some people might say bad things about you and they'll just talk about your mental health. I could relate to some of the stuff they say about you. I think that you're a pretty good guy and you've got good intentions. I believe that you are some form of a baby Jesus here to help awaken us and take us forward, and that you are going to drain the swamp. And the stuff you say about the walls, I think that's more about the walls that you put up, Trump. I'm not buying it. I don't believe that you want to keep all these people out and you think that these people are bad and these people are bad. When I watch your relationships and I see how those that you love pull away when you try to touch them, Donald Trump, I see that there's so many who would be all over you. They would give you never-ending affection. Because Donald Trump, look at you. Look at you.
I am so lovable.
You will never fail, Donald Trump. Your love is true. Let these goddesses love you. You will walk around and thousands of goddesses will follow you. They'll be like, Donald Trump, I love you so much. We'll do your favorite thing. We'll shine a spotlight on you and you will love it.
Oh, I'll be the star. They'll have a TV show. Oh, I'll call my documentary friends. They all love me so. Oh, they're all my friends. They're my best friends.
Oh, I know. They love you. We will have a documentary about you and how lovable you are. It'll be called Lovable Dooba Scoobed. Donald Trump, we love you.
A dooba doo.
Yeah. And Donald Trump, you
don't talk for me. I will tell you what I would do. I would choose the most gorgeous queen. She will be the smartest, most beautiful queen in the whole wide world. She will be amazing and incredible and deeply in love with me. And there will be a perfect age gap. And she will be so sensitive to my needs and compliment me perfectly. And she will be all over me. And when I reach for her, she will want me to touch her. I will touch her. I will grab her by the most loving place that she loves, in the most loving way that she loves. Donald Trump, I believe in you. You can do it. So please, I know that this is a national threat. You know what I'm gonna have to do, Daisy the Venezuela.
I know. You're gonna have to call the National Guard and tell them that I'm gonna kidnap you and that there's gonna be a love bomb dropped. A love atomic bomb, and that the whole wide world is going to be awakened with my love, Donald Trump.
What? No. I was not going to report you for a bomb threat because that does not sound threatening. It actually sounds very lovey-dovey, and I kind of like the idea of you kidnapping me. It sounds really, really sweet. And I know you don't mean anything by tickle torture. I think that's really cute. Sometimes I tickle torture my kids because they're so cute. Especially Ivanka Trump. When she was a little girl, she was the cutest little girl in the world. And, oh, Barron Trump. He's such an adorable boy. I love him so much. I wish I could eat him like a delicious treat. But yeah, I know he won't turn into a man, so I can't. But I would just love to have more babies. And look at me, I'm a strapping young man. So, Melania Trump, I'm very sorry. I'm getting a divorce. And this is my public announcement. Melania Trump, I can't take it anymore. Every time I try to hug you, every time I try to love you, you pulling away from me, Melania. And I want to give you my love. I just want to love you up and you don't want it. So I'm going to make a TV show. And I'm going to have a documentary on how lovable I am. And all the goddesses are going to kiss me. I can get kissed all day long. 1,000 million times a second. And I will choose one queen. Because I'm a monogamous one-woman man. I do not have a hive, a ketro of so many kings like you. Donald Trump, it's funny you bring that up. Actually, you know, I'm so admire some of you. And I really love you so much that I want to be just like you sometimes. And I was thinking about how you need a woman in your life, so I thought about how I need a man in my life too. And I decided that King Big Ben is not just going to be my primary partner, that we're going to be exclusive, and we really love grooming each other, massaging each other, working out together. There's a lot of things we love doing together. There's also a lot of things we do separate. And with these practices, you know, like right now I get to use his Wi-Fi if I need to. And then if I want to go to my dojo, where every time my internet is all scratchy, that's because I'm over there. So I come here to use the internet. But you guys see how I live. I live very, very simple. And, excuse me, this is supposed to be about me. So, Daisy, the Venice healer, I must go. But you are an honorary superhero. I hereby appoint you, Daisy the Venice healer, protector, guardian, the sword and shield of love for all of us. Daisy the Venice healer, you have proven yourself time and time again. And I honor you. You are the superhero of men and women. Daisy, I hereby boop you on your nose. Boop. Whoa! What does this mean? It means that you are a superhero, just like you say. You have come to do awesome coolness. That's what's up. So go forth, Daisy the Venice healer. You are as lovable as the prophecies say. Your hair is so fluffy and flouncy and fluffified. And you will awaken and unite the whole world with your love and a boop on the nose. Go forth, Davy, the Venice healer, and do your work. Now I have to go. The Secret Services is going to go, and we're going to go and do our super duper hero training now. I'm on a new workout regimen, and I've been eating really healthy and taking care of myself because I love myself so much. So I gotta go, and I can give you a big kiss on boop and nose. I love you so much. You're so lovable. But goodbye now. Goodbye, Daisy Vance here.
Goodbye, Donald Trump. I hope it's okay I put this on my live stream.
Okay, now goodbye. Just keep on thinking about how lovable I am, and you keep on putting the pictures of me on the wall. I love you so much, and I'm so lovable. Goodbye.
Bye, Donald Trump. I love you.
I love you. Goodbye.
Oh, I thought you hung up. Okay, bye.
I love you, Daisy Vance here. I'm your greatest fan. I watch your stuff 100 times in a row. Goodbye. Bye.
Okay, bye. That was so cool. Whoa. He's such a good guy. You know, I really love that Donald Trump looks at this as play, because it is play. Kidnapping the president. love bombing the world. It's just a love in golf. See, we play chase. So I'll kidnap the president and I'll tickle torture him. And then me and the president will hide. And then they'll come find us and we'll be like, surprise! And then we'll get them. We'll be like, I gotcha. And then they're it. And then they have to chase us. And we'll be like, and we'll run. It'll be fun. And then they'll tickle torture us when they catch us. And then we'll chase them. It'll be a whole thing. It'll be really fun. We'll be like, we don't need bombs. Why are we spending all our money on missiles? And missile detection, a huge amount of our time and resources. Forget about budget. We don't need money anymore because in this new world, our energies and capacities are what we raise, not votes and funds. And we don't vote. That means there's no rulers or governors. And if there's no rulers or governors, then that means there's no rules and laws. And if there's no rules and laws, holy moly, my hair's getting more fluffy. Look at those sideburns. Daisy the Venice Healer. Your mascara magically appear. I just got more beautiful by thinking about a more beautiful, lovable world. See, Donald Trump and I will, after the tickle torture chase campaign, not only will hair be fluffier, eyelashes be longer, and everyone feel more playful and wonderful. But we will focus on more elevating important things like a dooba scoob, which means let's stretch. You guys want to stretch? Oh, I know. How about a snuggle? Yes, we will snuggle. That's very important. Not only do we need snuggles, but plants and animals need snuggles too. It's so wonderful to release dimethyl tryptamine and oxytocin just from snuggling. Look, they are doing well because of the snuggling. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. Look at you. I love you so much. Look at your babies. I love you. And if we snuggle and give love, then look, there will be life everywhere. This is new life. And what kind of life is this? Oh, it's gonna be more beautiful flowers like you. So with death is new growth and new life. And then this becomes food soon, but it's not ready yet. Oh, unless it comes off easily. And then we just sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Dun, dun, dun. And this is one of my meditation practices. See, all these little flowers are gone, and all these little flowers are falling. And then soon there's new growth, and there's new growth, and there's new growth, and there's new growth. And look, the plants have a choice. Just like when you bring home a pet. And do not think that I condone a pet. That's another word for a slave. Just like these plants are upset. And when they come here, they're jarred and stressed out. And they come in their new ecosystem. It takes a while for us to learn each other. And then I start to realize that they move toward me. They dance with me. That these are my friends. And one of my meditation practices is I sit outside. I sit with my friends. And I love to snuggle them. I love to touch them. In this world, we start to think about things that are really important. We have incredible information and technology, but we use it on weapon and defense. What if we use this incredible technology on things like anti-aging? What if we use this incredible technology with things like biodiversification and creating a more beautiful world? And what if we use this beautiful technology for meeting the needs for all of life? And that is why Donald Trump is here. I believe Donald Trump is what he says he is, that he will be the last president. And it's not because he's going to be the ruler or the dictator, but because he understands that there's a swamp, that there's a bunch of friends in the offices and with good intentions, there's all of these different coercive means coming them in, wanting to win them. And then they're doing things based off special interests. They're doing things for money. They're doing things for votes. Instead of doing things because it's the right thing. And it's time that we start doing the right thing. And that is exactly what Donald Trump says. Donald Trump doesn't care about money. He wants to do the right thing. I believe that. I believe that even his haters believe that. And I'm a neutral party. I love everyone. I love Kamala. I love Biden. He's so cute. Biden's so cute. We have to love all of our elders, you guys. How can you not love your elders, especially the wise ones? In leadership positions, they carry great wisdom. Donald Trump is not one of them. And he is one of them. This is really special. This is really powerful. With great power comes great responsibility. He understands this. He likes being successful. He likes winning. He likes being popular. And being popular and winning, being a genius, that involves caring for everyone. He cares about everyone. And whatever bad thing you got to say about him, what presidents have gone and met with certain leaders and hung out with, and with Kim Jong-un and all different people. He's a pretty amicable guy. Here's what my higher self says. Daisy the Venice Healer, the light being I created for all of us, she says that these are men who are unhealed. And just as I'm unhealed and I'm working on my trauma and I have these outbursts, these men are unhealed. And therefore they go to means of fighting. And when we have anger and violence, beneath that is panic and fear. And if you go beneath that, then there's mourning and crying. And then when we go beneath mourning and crying, then there's positivity, positive reframing, and then there's play. And once there's play, then we start to move into love and source energy, trust, transparency, truth, where our thoughts are perfectly in alignment with our words, which are perfectly in alignment with our deeds, our intentions, everything in perfect alignment. And we can move through dimensions in this state. Our entire brain lights up. It's called our parasympathetic nervous state. Right now, it's undeniable. We are in what's called beta brainwave. That is our sympathetic nervous system. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn, fuck. Donald Trump understands a lot of things, but I don't believe that he understands that fighting isn't the way. I believe he understands the corruption. He understands that you can't have a whole bunch of people, then you get like a swamp. It's like all the same people just re-electing and going in different positions and serving each other. And we want everyone to serve everyone. So that's what he's saying, and he's right about that. And he's also saying we need to win and have big business and be the most powerful and be... Daisy the Venice Healer says, we are one. That all of us are one. From every microscopic organism whose needs matter, we must think of the needs also of the superorganism which supports all of life, Earth. I call her Big, Big, Big Mama. Some call her Gaia. Whatever you call her, the Great Mother, we must consider her. We must consider the tiniest of microorganisms. It is but our microbiome that eats our food, not us. We think we eat our food because it's going in our mouth, but there's microorganisms in our mouth all the way through the esophagus, and when you swallow a spit, infuse it with love, because there's love moving through with living organisms, and you are loving them and they are loving you. It is them eating your food and their secretions as they move through the stomach and intestines, large and small, all the way through the colon. Their secretions are what is elevating, nourishing, supporting you, because you cannot absorb that which is eaten by you. You absorb that which is eaten by our friends. So what happens when we kill bugs, that which kills a big giant organism compared to something tiny, so small we do not see it at all, will kill that big, it will kill everything smaller then. And now you have these big giant bugs we want to kill, you're putting it on our food. So now this stuff that's supposed to kill these big giant bugs, it's on our food, now it's going in our gut, and now it's killing the creatures in our gut. We know about this. And Donald Trump knows about this. Donald Trump doesn't like the special interests in money and lobbying. He wants all that to stop. He also has these ideas like we got to build walls and fight and have this military. And I don't believe in that at all. But I believe in everything else he believes in. I believe in not having governors or leaders. Donald Trump, please be the last one. Let us have a legacy where we learn from you and what you said is true, that we must drain the swamp, and let us not create another swamp again. That this didn't work, so let us try something new from a new mind, like Einstein said. Otherwise it's insanity if we do it again. And Donald Trump, I love a lot of what you say, but most of the people in power, I don't feel that they are healed. As Daisy the Venice healer, I say that we have a lot of healing to do, and it is a group conscience mind that will lead the way. And that the governors or leaders are traumatized, fragmented parts of us. They're leaders indeed, and valiant and wonderful, and must be honored as divine gods, just like us. And it is all of us together that lead each other. And in fact, it's not the powerful that lead, it is the most powerful who are the servants. And as it turns out, in the end of the story, we find out that it is the most vulnerable who are the ones who are meant to lead us after all. Meaning the babies, the children, the microorganisms, our earth, the plants, the animals, that they are the ones that are meant to lead us, because the plants and animals and the vulnerable, as the higher beings that we are, the gods and goddesses, these other organisms depend on us. They depend on us to create ecstasy and bliss in a more wonderful world. There's no denying that walruses are suffering. They have nowhere to nurse their young and care for them in the summer. All the ice is gone. And we love the walruses and the bears and in the Arctic, the polar bears. We love them so much. And we don't want to say goodbye yet. And we've had to. We've had to say goodbye to so many friends. We've had to say goodbye to rhinos. The black rhino or white rhino, one of them is extinct. We might have to say goodbye to elephants. What do you think? I say, love crusaders, no. No, love crusaders. That we are meant to take care of each other. That we are not meant to say goodbye or let anyone go. That it is not the age of extinction. It is not the age of apocalypse. It is the age of awakening. It is the age of light. It is the age, undeniably, of becoming ourselves, our best self. It is the age of rising to a more enlightened version of me and you, finding our meaning and purpose, never ever being for sale, ever again. And because we are not for sale, we never would commit these atrocities, and they don't get done because they can't get done because we're not getting paid. And the earth loves it. No longer do we sweep miles of the ocean floor, saying goodbye to friends who we didn't mean to, because we love and care so much that we use the most love and care and the least force and control. And as it turns out, yes, we are so lovey-dovey, and no, we are not so violent. And that is just a part of us that has not yet gone through those other stages of healing that we just talked about. So we love it. We say, oh, you're so violent. Your violence is welcome here.
You're so angry, aren't you? You feel such indignation, don't you? You really want others to change and be like you want them to, huh? Of course you do. And we say, a-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. We boop them on the nose. Boop. We say, it's okay. You make sense. Of course you feel like that. And your feelings are welcome here. And then get up here right now. Do you want a hug? Okay, you're not ready to hug. That's totally fine. Do you want to just talk more? All right, tell me everything. How about if I just pat your shoulder while you talk? No, your shoulders are going way up. Okay, that's a no. How about, oh, look at what happens when I caress your forehead. Oh, yeah. Now tell me everything. Politicians, are you feeling violent because having power and control and being able to dominate the world makes you feel powerful? Is that why you're so violent? And, oh, politicians of the world, are you feeling so violent because you need a lot of empathy and you've been hurt, and it's going to take a lot of reassurance before you're going to be able to trust? That makes total sense. I love everything you're saying. You know, I used to be like that too. I used to think that the best thing to do was to control and use my power over. That's what I would do. And this didn't work at all. In fact, it usually backfired on me when I used the most force and control and the least love and care. And as it turned out, I didn't even know empathy was there. I didn't even know what it was. That was the world I live in. It's pretty narcissistic, don't you think? And that's my work. That's my work, is to not only consider me and my needs, but to consider the needs of the whole. And I'm wondering if you politicians can relate to that. It's easy for you to consider your needs, for you to think about your tribe, and for you to be like, hey, what about America? America is so great. And yeah, we are. I love us. I live in one of the greatest cities in the world, Los Angeles. The beaches. And I love it here, but I want one world. I don't want division. And when I used to be angry, when I used to want to push away, when I used to want division, I used to be afraid of bugs. I used to be afraid of spiders. I used to be afraid of other countries. I used to not like certain religions and races and species and animals. And I used to enemy image, and I know now that we all evolved perfectly, that we are all source energy, which means we're God and we created this, that we have Christ consciousness and we choose when and how it emerges in us. And in choosing to be a more loving, elevating, life-enriching presence, we are choosing our higher self. And that is a more vivacious, inspirational, influential part of us that gets what we want. Our needs get met. Our feelings get felt. People feel us. They're more likely to care about us and do what we want. But we got to care about the whole. And I'm wondering, politicians, do you have trouble caring about the whole? Do you have trouble considering the needs of China and Russia and North Korea and Iran and Afghanistan? I want us to consider the needs of all of life. And I don't want us to separate and categorize and decide that these humans are okay and these humans are not. And these animals are cool and these die or get captured. these get controlled. These are allowed to live, but as pets or out in the wild. And we interfere with every part of their life, but we're not allowed to interfere with them. And we're allowed to create incredible scarcity and take away their watering holes and their food sources and create chaos, take away their shelter and attack them and burn their area down and destroy and put concrete. But we're not allowed to interfere with them. And unless they come in our area, and then they're no longer like wildlife that we don't interfere with. Now we capture and control. And think about the violence. And I thought about it when I had my little garden here. And when I try to plant gardens around the city, and the city comes and bulldozes it, yo. How am I supposed to be a being of light? And how is everything I touch supposed to rain down diamonds and grow gold if they don't let me blast off and they keep bulldozing my gardens, yo? That's what's up in my heart. And I'm so glad I got to talk to Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Call me back. You could call me anytime. That was a really good conversation. I love talking to Donald Trump. I talk to him all the time. And he's really sweet. You know, as a little girl, I met Reagan, I met Bush Sr. And it makes sense to me that Donald Trump and I would totally hit it off. We're really good friends. Just like he says. We love each other. Hey, Margaret Mary. I want to be in conversation with you. Do you want to be in conversation with me? Margaret Mary. She says, any advice for PTSD? For domestic violence survivors? And I have a lot of advice. So vaguely, and then Mary, if you want to be in conversation with me, go for it. Awesome. So Margaret Mary, if you have trauma from domestic violence, then that means that it's stemming from somewhere. So domestic violence means a bunch of things. So I'm just gonna give you a jumble, and then we'll weave through it. So here's what I have to say, Mary, and you could be in conversation with me, and I'll look at the chat and respond to you. So when we are a child, we have our caregivers, and sometimes our caregivers have a disorganized attachment style. That means that they like to hit us, and it's really unpredictable, and they might be addicted to stuff. Really angry, volatile environment. And in this environment, that's what you catch it. So now you got the violence. So what this means, there's also the avoidant attachment style. So maybe our environment was that, like, we're supposed to just take care of ourselves. Like, sometimes abuse is not always, like, up in your face. Disorganized attachment style, literally you scream up in your kid's face. I used to do that stuff to my kids. I used to hit them, scream in their face. And in the stages, and actually I was in domestic violence, so I'll speak for myself too. So when you experience violence as a child, then you're going to do it to your children. You're going to hit your children unless you do what I call break the chains. So you want to break the chains. And then we don't want to then use other strategies, like now we're going to dismiss and avoid our kids because now we're neglecting them. And then we're also not going to be helicopter parents and be all over their shit and be all anxious and preoccupied. Because now we're fawning if we're anxious and preoccupied. And if we're dismissive and avoidant, then that's like running away from your kid. You know, the 5 Fs. And then if we're hitting our kid, that means you're favoring fighting. So this is our sympathetic nervous system. We want to stay away from fight, flight, freeze, fawn, F-U-C-K. And those are the 5 ways that we get abused and exploited. And freeze would be like your parents ghost you and they're gone. Okay? And then our trauma manifests in those ways. So just think of the 5 Fs. So if you are manifesting somebody who is hitting you, then that means, Goddess Margaret Mary, that you were hit as a child. And you can be in conversation, you can be like, yes, it's true. And you're not going to say, no, it's not true, because I already know it's true. And because you were hit as a child, because you most likely I watched my brother get beat. I watched him get force-fed food that he tried to hide down the garbage disposal out of the garbage disposal. I watched him throw up and then get force-fed his throw up. The abuse in my home was extreme. And because I witnessed the abuse on my brother and sister and then it happening to me, it was easy for me to do it again. And it took a while for me to break those chains. So if you are in the stage of healing this, that means that this was done to you. And then you're going to attract it in your partners. They're going to do it with you. They're going to be hitting you. You may find partners who allow you to hit them and then they'll leave you. You'll find all different partners. If you find someone who's hitting you, so that's what you said domestic violence. I had one husband. Actually, I've only been married once. Perfect Prince. Perfect Prince used to scare me. And it wasn't so much that like he choked me or hit me, or sometimes he wouldn't hit me, he would just scare me. But it was the days after my nervous system was so rocked. It was like, and I could feel the adrenaline and cortisol in my body. And having to go through that was a lot. So I looked at my life, and I want you to do this too, Margaret Mary. I said to myself, what areas am I violent in? And when I saw the areas that I was violent in, I realized, well, in Venice Beach, there are men who will catcall me or do certain things that trigger me. And I'm not going to say what they did, but because it doesn't justify what I did. But in response to that, I would be violent. And I would attack them. If they're driving a car, I might attack their car. I could see that I was violent. So, Margaret Mary, I want you to look in your world, where are you violent? So, because we're going to go through all of the stages, I want you to see from when you were a tiny little baby, and then through when you were a child to a teenager to an adult. I want you to find the violence. And I want you to find the violence when you are violent. And violence can also be in our words. If we shred someone and our intention with our words, no matter how few they are, if our intention is to hurt, harm, induce shame, fear, coerce, blame, judge, then we are being violent. And I want you to look, Margaret Mary, where are you violent? Because part of the healing process is we get hit as a child. And for me, then I would hit. And I would hit kids and animals and partners. Then the next stage is you learn not to hit others. And some people break the chain and they don't hit their kids like I did. And they don't hit their partners, they don't hit animals. That wasn't the case for me. I did. And if you're able to break the chains before you have kids and all that, that's gonna feel really good for you. So this work has really rewarding benefits. You will derive great pleasure from it, I promise. Keep doing it. And this work, after you identify where you are violent, then the next stage is you're going to need to do the work of not being violent no matter what. And that means you're going to have partners who are violent to you and you are not violent back. You may have animals or kids who are violent to you and you are not violent back. In this stage, because you used to be violent, you have all this violence in your world. Okay, well, now you got to deal with it. And you're going to have all this violence. Well, now you got to find another way. Otherwise, you're going to keep attracting it. And the stage is up to you, because if it keeps coming, it's because of you and how you're responding. When are you ready? And if you're not ready, then keep doing what you're doing and keep having the same outcome. But when you're ready, do something different. And when you're ready, what you will do instead of violence is you will find a softer part of you. You're gonna move through the stages. It goes anger, violence, rage, and then you go through panic, and you'll have debilitating panic attacks. You may feel like you're dying. This is where you want to do breath work and yoga and get in touch with being able to regulate your nervous system. And if you have a heartbeat, then you can feel your heartbeat, and you could focus on your heartbeat, and you can take your attention there, and you could talk to your heart and tell your heart to have a beautiful cadence and a gorgeous, glorious, beautiful rum tum tum in my chest. I want the beat to be perfect. Give me a beautiful cadence I can listen to. Be the symphony orchestra leader of all of my organs. Heart, go. You're a superhero. And you could pull yourself out of a panic attack by breathing deeply with your lungs too. Knowing that your lungs expand from top to bottom and left to right, and your intercostals muscles stretch in between your ribs. And you pull your stomach up and in when you exhale, and roll your eyes back and tuck your chin and lengthen your spine. And your panic attack that's debilitating and was killing you, now you realize it's just you learning how to be a superhero and get in touch with your nervous system, that you can actually handle a lot. And you can stay resourced, and you just got to work through it. And after you go through panic attacks, and I'm letting you know, goddess, you got some anger and rage in you if you're attracting it in your world, so you got to take care of that in you first. And whether it's your words or actions, you take care of that. And then the next stage after panic attacks is, then you go through mourning. You get to cry. And this is kind of like also positive reframing, because you don't just like cry. Like when you're crying, you'll start to positive reframe and think about like what's coming good out of this, because you want to have a learning and growth mindset. You're always asking yourself, what am I learning? What is there to learn? What is the lesson? These are my teachers. These are not my enemies, because I'm not getting angry anymore. Now I'm not getting frustrated. Now I'm not exploding. I went through panic attacks. Now I'm in the stage of mourning, and I want to learn and grow. I want to be teachable in this stage. I want to mourn, and I want to do it right, so I don't have to keep going through these stages. It's not about like going to therapy anymore and talking forever. Now we go through it. We heal the trauma. So then the next stage after mourning, and you're processing while you're doing this, and the anger part, you did all your venting, so now you do all your wallowing. So then when you're done with mourning, now you want to play. Now stuff that used to be really awful or you'd get really angry about, now you could laugh at. And the stage of play is our super learning state. We get really creative. It's really blissful and wonderful. We tap into spiritual joy when the inner flame ignites inside of us. And it's a beautiful experience where we all connect in this. We get connected to the unified field of oneness, and not just our resonating nervous system, so we could feel the energy of all beings, plants and animals, but we can also tap into and attune to each other's body sensations and say things like, hey, look where your breath is. I care about that. Let's take a breath together. Or hey, like I could not just attune to your body, but I could sense your energy. Like, are you upset? I care about that. Do you need some empathy? Because now I'm guessing your needs, and is there a need for empathy? If your body is this, and your breath is here, and your feeling is upset and hurt, then maybe your need is empathy and comfort and love and care and friendship, and I'm here for you. And unconditional belonging is also a need, where we have a tribe and we stay together no matter what. We never outcast. I meant what I said about the rulers and the leaders. I meant what I said about Donald Trump being the special one who drains the swamp. And I don't believe that there's such thing as a liberal and a conservative. I don't believe that. I don't believe in Republican and Democrat. I don't believe that there's black and white. I don't believe that there's borders. I believe that there's a living organism called Earth, and we live on her, and she has a body. And if we attune to her body, co-regulate with her biofield, because skin in is our body, skin out's our biofield, and then collaborate to meet needs with her, which means we don't think that we're in charge of her. We don't command and control and use our power and force over her because that hurts her. I know that that little garden out there hurts. Like, I feel sorry that my plant friends are not free and wild, and I would just put them outside. But the city keeps bulldozing my garden. So I have all these other gardens that they can't touch. And then I have some wild stuff that the city sometimes gets. But sometimes they don't get it. So I will bring life and put life in places that are unexpected, hoping that it will get to stay. And I yearn for the day when we can all bring life and share life. So Margaret Mary, I'm going to start looking at the chat to be in conversation. I want to know about what you think about the stages. Also, you have to look at the healing in yourself for the anger and the violence. The panic is another stage. Like, you got to learn the breath work. So I touched on a lot. So let me know what you want me to talk about more. Let me see. Margaret Mary, I see your teary eyes. I love you. And I don't see many other comments from you, Goddess. You guys are so lovable. Margaret Mary, I care about you, Goddess, and anyone who's experiencing domestic violence. I want you to have the acknowledgement of how jarring it is. I want to give you acknowledgement that there's a moment when you stop breathing. And of course you're afraid. And you want more harmony in a space where you can exist with conscious communication. You don't want it to go from 0 to 100. And it's scary. And I acknowledge that. And I love you. And it's gonna not take that much time to heal. That's not true. That's a lie. It takes time to heal. Yeah, right. Heal yourself right now. Cry. Have a spiritual poopy. And I told you the stages. Anger. Get in touch with your anger and violence, Goddess. Please don't pretend that you don't have it, because if you're attracting it, you got it. And I want you to get in touch with it, fully experience it. I want you to find the violence from when you were a little girl. What happened to you? I care about that. Was there sexual? There's fight, flight, freeze, fawn, F. So those are the 5 Fs. So what happened to you? Were you hit, hurt, abused, humiliated, objectified? Like, I want to know. And tell someone, tell God, tell yourself, acknowledge it, 'cause it happened. And then when you say it happened, then you mourn it. You cry. Cry, 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 cry. And when you cry, you make sure you let your body do what it wants. You shake, you shudder. It's called somatic experiencing. So a lot of times we do yoga. Open your hips. Your emotions are inside your hips. If you're thinking a lot and you have too many unconscious contracts, then that will be inside your shoulders. So you always want your shoulders to come down and your spine to be perfect, and you always want to practice opening your hips, because your emotions are in your hips. If you go to a hot yoga class, and if you do not have a hot yoga class, turn the shower on in your bathroom and get a space heater and create a steamy sauna for yourself. You could do it yourself. And then when you are done, wipe down all of the walls so that the walls do not get warped. And then create an ice bath for yourself. And I want you to stretch and massage yourself while you are in the sauna, which you create, in the ice bath, which you create. And the reason why you are massaging and stretching yourself is because this is a love engulf. You are healing yourself. You are taking really good care of yourself. And you're doing it perfectly. When you take care of yourself, then the whole world shines. Everyone shines. The best thing that you could do for anyone is to take care of yourself and to work on yourself. And your food is more deliciously medicinal every day. It's so healing. You listen to your gut. Your gut tells you exactly what it wants. And you love your belly so much. You love your tummy. And your tummy loves you. and your gut says things like, I would love celery juice and green juice and lots of water and some hot yoga and I would love some coffee in the middle somewhere. But first, I am going to have yoga and green juice because I can feel that my body is more alkaline when I do, and I love it. That's why I do it. I love when I feel wonderful. And I do feel wonderful because you and me, you guys are helping me. At first, I used to get a little bit shy. Now I talk to you. And I would use TikTokulosis. I would see you guys. I'd be like, whoa, hey, how all of you doing? And then I would see all of you and I would get so shy. But now I'm like, oh, hey, go squad, go. And that's why sometimes I see the guys and I'm like, guys, you guys work together. And I see the goddess, I'm like, hey girl, hey. Hey goddess. Hair flip, shoulder. Hey goddess. Guys, do not, no, guys. You guys stay together. You go over there. You go there. No boys. Just where the girls go. Goddess squad. Guess what? I got King Big Ben. Okay? And I want to get my goddess on. You guys tend to take a lot of my energy. So men, you guys take a quantum leap to your god squad and you get. Go on now. Get. Or you're going to get it. I will use this device. It is a tickle torture device. Me and all of the goddesses will become the tickle torture queens. We will be the tickle torture queens and we will chase you. We'll play the game girls chase boys. And we have an advantage because anytime that we need to get you, we'll just be like, oh, goddess, that jar looks really hard to open. Or we'll be like, help, it's so heavy I can't carry it. And then the chase is over because all of the men will go into a state of shock and they will freeze and they will be like, I have to open the jar. I have to help the guys. And then we'll get you and we will tickle torture you. Who cares if you're faster? We're smarter. Who cares if you're stronger? Goddesses are more powerful because we use love. And because we're really good looking. We're all curvy. You guys are amazing and magnificent. You guys are very hairy. You guys are lions with manes. I don't know what you're doing, shaving off your mane. You guys have thicker, more masculine, manly follicles. They're so hunky compared to our hairs. Even your shoulders and chest is hunky and covered with hunkified hairs. Our body hairs and head hairs are very thin, and it's only if you get stressed out that you will lose your hair. Otherwise, the hunkification just continues, and your hairline gets farther and farther down. You get these like sideburns, like chops, like, oh yeah. Even more award-winning sideburns than Daisy the Venice Healer, the local neighborhood superhero of the Los Angeles beaches. You glorious kings. Daisy could never, the Venice Healer, could never measure up to your incredible sideburn chops. Your chins and jaws are so chiseled and huge compared to ours. Goddess Squad, aren't men amazing? But go away. We don't want you here. Because we don't trust you. Because in this world, you guys have been narrowing your vision on us and objectifying us and looking at us like objects to be used, and we don't trust you. And guess what? I know what it's like to be on the other side of that and to narrow my vision on men and use and objectify and abuse and mistreat men, and I'm not down for it. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be on either side of it. I'm glad I got to try it. There was parts of it that were fun and made me feel powerful at times. I know why I did it. And I know why others do it. But I choose to not be that way because I love to be loving. And I love to come from source energy. And I don't ask what would Jesus do. I am what would Jesus do. I am what Jesus does. Because I want to be more loving and caring and least forceful and controlling. And I'm pretty sure that that's what Jesus told us. Jesus would never be dropping bombs. Jesus would never be fighting at all. If Jesus was at the superhero heart table, I call it the goddess heart table, but we could all go there, then Jesus would say things really elevating, like, hey, we could work it out. Let's find a way forward. How can we make it so that all of life matters? And if Buddha was there, Buddha would be like, yeah, all of life does matter. We evolved perfectly together. And in order for us to emerge in a tranquil, blissful, harmonious environment filled with ecstasy, then we're going to have to start looking at each other like playmates and not enemies. And Shiva and Krishna and Allah will be there too. And they will say lovey-dovey things also. It will be so wonderful. And we will all stretch and breathe and meditate, and we will have higher sciences and technologies. We will levitate. Not only will we levitate, robots will do all of our jobs. AI also will replace superfluous ways our energies are being spent. No longer will children's energies be stolen away from them, their childhoods be a life of waking up and being controlled by authorities. Poor darlings meant to be angels, learning and growing through their most creative state, which is play. We know that alpha and theta brainwaves is our most creative learning state. And when we create from energies of boredom and should and have to and getting paid or because we voted on it, then add a touch of coercion and you get evil. You get out of balance. You get violence. You get a plinka plaka. And that's not even having moved through the stages of panic, mourning, positive reframing, playing, and loving and being in source energy. Source energy says that we're all connected. It says that we all have the same feelings and needs. It says that all needs matter. It says that we can trust in this world, that we can be transparent and truthful, that we don't have to lie, that we don't ever have to create a world where all needs are considered, that we are not only for ourselves or for our country or for our species, that all of life matters and we are all meant to be free and we are all meant to be happy and we are all meant to thrive, and we suffer when others suffer, and we are suffering because we feel the suffering, and it's a hum, an underlying hum under our skin, and we want a drum, we want an orchestrator, a symphony orchestra of all the animals and plants singing together, and I promise you we will. The elephants will come, they will trumpet, they love California just like I do, and giraffes, and I'm only talking about California. Tell me about where you live. What animals will thrive? Turns out polar bears and grizzly bears and black bears love California. Polar bears like it because the water's cold and because they really love to snuggle, and there's otters everywhere and they all hold hands and float in the waves and snuggle, and they love it. And polar bears love it here because they could go right up to the beach and there's seals. And giraffes do really well here. So do flamingos. Giraffes and flamingos are best friends now because all animals are free and able to biodiversify. Flamingos, they're always dancing on the backs of the giraffes because it turns out that the flamingos go because they have this special oil that secretes from their feet when they get in touch with the fur from the giraffe, and it makes it and then they do this thing with their jaw. It's so relaxing and beautiful. And then the giraffes are like, and the elephants are like, and it's hard to get the babies to come and sing because usually they sing and play and sing and play, and then sometimes they'll hear the symphony and you'll hear like because the babies are jumping and tickle towards it and loving golfing. Have you ever seen baby deers have a lickathon? That's how they kiss. Just go on YouTube and look up deer lickathon. No wonder Japanese have an entire island where they worship deer. Deer are so cute and so loving and snuggly. And we will not have money as a currency. Your currency will be your energy. Oh, you're so wonderful to be around. Look at you, you're so filled with mischief. What you gonna do next? I have TikTokulosis and I'm still going to get you. I tickle, because I could tell that you might get me, so I'm gonna get you first. I never know what you're gonna do. When we look at each other like this, and we see that we're friends, and we don't gotta fight, we don't gotta defend, we don't gotta force, we don't gotta try to one-up each other. We're not in competition. There's no such thing as winning if there's a loser. That we are all in our own developmental stage of learning and growth, that we have a new narrative that's changing us. And that we want to play. And that a lot of times games, you're just standing around waiting for people to figure out what was what, and if there was a foul, or if there was this, or what the thing is. Like, or for commercials. Why does everyone got to stand around so much? And the answer is we don't. And the same thing with why does everyone got to wait so much? The answer is we don't. It's like information technology is being withheld. We don't need money or market economy. Our energy is our currency. So this means that in the new world, we have fellowships to meet our needs, not money. So then what about market economy? It doesn't just go away. It's a friend now. Before, market economy was seen as a villain, but market economy is not a villain at all. So just because entertainment is free, and we can go and see any entertainer and entertainment's free, I could be considered an entertainer. I make my Amazon wish list public. I'd let you guys know that how I want to receive and how you can give to me. I don't accept any donations because I don't use money, because I trust in this world. I trust in my popularity and you guys coming to visit me, that you don't have to give me anything. And I love for you just to come visit me. Come with me when I go do my speeches. I want to be able to just do my work and share my gifts. And I'm a healer. I want to be able to show everyone how to do flow strokes and meditation and yoga. And I want to share my gifts. If we come from our meaning and purpose, which we use our gifts and talents to share, then this is a whole new world. And when we're doing things for money or for a grade, or because our boss is telling us to, how many of us are working way more than we would work? We would just do a few hours here and there, and we would be diversifying what we do because we'd be tired of doing the same thing. So now that's what I do. And I have all this extra energy to do all these things. I have been outside a long time. I've been live streaming a lot more lately because I haven't been spending as much time at the beach, which means I'm not doing my fellowships as much. And that's been kind of lonely, but it's because I decided that I don't want to go to the beach alone anymore, because there's people like who I post videos of who bully me, like John the Bully and people And they're men who do not bully other men. They do it to women and children, those who are weaker than them. And then if there's a bigger, stronger guy who's with me, they won't do it. So this is what bullies do. They find someone who's weaker. And a bully, you don't enemy image them or hurt them. You go to the root. So just like with domestic violence, you go to the root. So you go through the exact same healing process that we talked about before. And in this case, it's not like victim perpetrator or any different. You don't enemy image either. You go through the same process. So notice how with the victim, I said, how are you violent? Well, we know how John the bully is violent. We know how these people are violent. They're hitting. They're doing what they're doing. So then we look at those parts of that and we heal those parts. How do you heal it? Okay, well, you call your empathy buddy. Instead of doing this, you do that. You create reframes to the behaviors by going back to the hindsight. Find out what did you do that you didn't want to do, and what do you want to do next time that you wish you did back then. So if you figure out what you wish you did back then you could think about a future, and then you could have a whole bunch of behaviors and responses where you could be like, if this happens or if this happens, here's what I'll do, or here's what I'll do, or here's what I'll do. And then you have all these moves, and you could say like, okay, if this doesn't work, then I will simply ask for space, and I will ask for silence and for a moment to breathe. And if asking for 5 minutes of silence doesn't work, then I will walk away. I will leave the room, or I will go for a skateboard ride, and I will tell them how long. I won't just ghost them and take off without saying anything. I will say, darling, I love you, but once it gets above a 8 out of 10, I leave, because I don't want to go into my sympathetic nervous system. I want my heart to remain open so that I don't start evaluating, thinking, strategizing, demanding, threatening, punishing, rewarding, going into this other state. I want to be attuning, co-regulating, and collaborating to meet our needs and having a conversation about what will help. And you're yelling, you're talking about what's wrong, you're doing this, and this. So I'm going to, just like we talked about before, when this happens, I will do this. And if we have this conversation with each other, hey, darling, do you remember, and then you get down to the micro moment, when you made a demand of me and threatened me? Okay, so next time when that happens, what will help? Okay, so how about if I do this? Will that help? No? Well, what else? Well, how about this? Yes? Okay, so next time you do this, I will do this. And if that doesn't work, then what? Okay, so if we don't do that, then how about this? No? Well, this? All right, so then I do that. So then you have like a list, like, I'll do this, I'll do this. My ex-husband used to not let me leave when I wanted to leave. So in that case, it was like I would start banging on the wall because I couldn't leave. So now I bang on the wall, I make phone calls. I'm not ever powerless. I always have a move up my sleeve. And if I know I always have a move up my sleeve, even if it's like, okay, now I am in a tiny ball chanting, we are lovable as you are beating me. Like, at least I have a move. But the key is, like, remove yourself from that situation. And another way you can remove yourself from that situation by not leaving that person is by bringing someone else in. Go and talk to your neighbors. This is really important. Go and talk to your family. They need to know about it. Tell your friends. Tell everyone, look, just like we have an upside and you guys really enjoy us and we have all these qualities, like, I really want to highlight all of our qualities before I start to tell you this thing, because I want you to know that I also have a dark side. I have a shadow, and I'm working on it. I call this my personal development practice. And in this personal development practice, I have these things that I work on, and I call those target behaviors. And some of my target behaviors are, I'm working on not hitting. I'm working on not screaming this close to my kid's face. Would you be willing to help me? You guys live next door. Do you hear it? Okay, thank you. Since I know you hear it, would you be willing to call my phone? Would you be willing to come over and knock on the door? Sometimes we might be too hyped up to even think about asking for help. I will work on calling you for help. Is that okay? I'm gonna reach out to you because I don't have the strength right now. Like, this is the stuff that I was doing. This is what I did. It's how I got out of a domestic violence relationship, and I never attracted another one. And I've been with my partner, King Big Ben, for a while, and I took my time. I wouldn't spend the night at his place. I wouldn't have sleepovers. Even when I was homeless, I took my time getting to know him, made sure he had a personal development practice. He was taking care of himself. He would get a hotel suite every once in a while. We would stay with each other, but he didn't have a place to stay, and I didn't have a place to stay. That's another reason we wouldn't do overnights. But even when he got a place, like, I would go home every night. And at the homeless shelter, it was really easy to do it because I was only allowed to stay out, a couple nights a month. And that's why I got kicked out, because I stayed out too many nights in a row. It's like 2 nights in a row. It's ridiculous. So I took my time. And even after that, I still didn't move in with him. I was like, I'm moving right to the beach. And having that, and now having my own place, I have a healthy relationship now. And I also have all my power. I'm not moving in with a guy because I would rather live at the beach than be in a relationship that is toxic. And I was willing to do anything. I was willing to do anything to get out of the market economy, which, as far as I was concerned, was an unhealthy relationship also. I was willing to get out of, like, the government and all domination systems because I wanted to walk the path. I wanted to have the most life-enriching experience I could for others so that I could be a benefit to others. And I also wanted to thrive. And I knew that humanity has lost its way. So I ask empowering questions like, how do we thrive? How do we thrive, and how do we move back into our balance, our state of symbiosis, so that we can experience spiritual joy, a deep state of joy that never leaves us, bliss, ecstasy, pleasure, tranquility, which is our natural state of being, with little short bursts of maybe shame or trauma or whatever to bring us back in balance. But our natural state is to be in alignment with Source. And we have lost our way. And the domination systems that force us in need to be acknowledged. The market economy and government married to each other creates a domination system where our children are put away in daycares and even at 6 weeks old, and this is not okay. We need tribes and many caregivers for one child, and not one caregiver for many child. And when we acknowledge these truths, then we can say, well, what will a new world that is truthful look like? And I don't have the wisdom. No one does. There's no special one. We don't want governors or leaders. That doesn't work. It is now a group conscious mind taking us forward, leading us. It is fellowships that say we did it ourselves. That's why I don't take credit for any of my books. I don't take credit for any of my work. You could take my content, repost it, make it your own. Please do. And that is what I want. I want others to take my content, repost it, make it their own. I'm not benefiting. I'm not monetizing. Somehow I'll create a nonprofit where because I have all these books and stuff. So if you guys are buying my books, I don't know how to make my books free on Amazon, but I mean, you guys can just get my books. I'll have it on audio and it'll be posted, so you could just find it online. But if you want to like buy a copy of it, like I'm gonna have a nonprofit, I guess, because I want to start. I want to start being able to do my work. I want to start being able to make incredible positive change, and I don't feel like the change makers and decision makers will listen unless we have power in all areas. We need numbers. We need more of us together. I need you guys to come and to gather, to come and find me. Reach out to Cleveland Housewife. If you are a goddess or a female, you can reach out to me. I do not want any men to contact me. I don't like it. I will not respond to you. Do not contact me. I don't want you to. And I got trauma with men, and that's on me, and I'm on a healing journey, but at this point, our humanity, I know exactly why a lot of you men are contacting me, and I don't want none of it. And the goddesses, it's another story. Goddesses, I believe that you want what I want. I believe that you want to learn and grow and do this together. And goddesses, you know what I like about us? men look outside of themselves to see who's leading, that's because men are the most powerful. That's why the lions let the goddesses lead and do everything. You notice that the male lions, they just do whatever the females tell them to do. And the females are like, we'll do everything, just like hang back and we'll tell you when we need you. And I believe that goddesses are meant to run shit. That's why women get bitchy if one of us is in charge. We don't like it. We are really good at attuning to the needs of the vulnerable, and we let the vulnerable lead us. That's what the women do. Women are like, the children need this, the bugs need this, the flowers need this. We need it to be more beautiful and wonderful and fun and creative. And women are constantly attuning to the vulnerable's needs. So in a way, the vulnerable are actually leading us. And in a natural world, the men, so glorious and true, are getting to relax. They don't gotta work all day. They're meant to be battling each other. And they learn to battle each other and fight so that they do not hurt each other. So that, like kings, glorious kings, they bow before and after and they say, my, look at your majestic muscles. You are so glorious and I'm honored to battle you. And when they battle, they laugh and they play and they make it hurt so good. It feels like a deep tissue massage. These men are kings to be worshipped, and that is where co-worshiping comes in. And there's stages to co-worshiping, and that starts with courting. And the most powerful, being the men, are always the ones who court first. And then the children are the least powerful, right? The plants and animals are the least powerful. So we want to court them first too. And then the men court the women. And then the men court everyone because they're the most powerful. And we must acknowledge our power and our glory as gods and goddesses. The humanoid, intelligent spirits, the beings that we are very powerful. And we are made to be sentient. I call it lovey-dovey. And we're made to take care of the needs of the whole entire planet. And then we'll feel blissful ecstasy. We'll love it so much. Because when the whole world is in harmony and thriving and there's biodiversity, we get to enjoy delicious treats. We get to have a different kind of fruit and vegetable every day. We get to have different kind of delicious meat. And it's not because we killed them and they had a horrible life in a farm. We feel really good to eat this meat because we know that it came from, that death is sacred. And that this animal died in a sacred way. And that their death was sacred, so their life was sacred. And that everything is sacred from birth to death. And that when we eat it, our food is sacred. And that it's loving and healing, that we don't just eat junk because of how we're feeling. We don't eat our feelings. We eat because our gut and our belly tells us what to eat, and we listen to it intuitively. And this happens unconsciously, and we turn into ninjas. It turns out if we don't stretch our body, whatever you don't use, you lose. And if now that I'm doing yoga, my knee's getting better. Now that I'm getting serious and getting up at 3 a.m. and going to bed at, last night we started to snuggle and go to sleep like 7:30. And if we are snuggling and sleeping early and getting up early and have a practice where we are loving our body in some way, and hopefully we're doing it with others. Hopefully we're massaging with someone else and grooming with someone else and not paying others to do this. We're exercising with someone else and moving our body and sweating with someone else because we're moving our body. We're doing heat therapy and stretching during the heat therapy and getting lots of stretch in. And we're doing cold therapy and going in an ice bath to heal any type of inflammation so that we can be ageless. We're meant to live for thousands of years with not only biodiversification, but multiplication, and multiply that by 1 trillion in watering holes. And if you think that's a lot of plants and animals, think of watering holes everywhere. And for every varietal and species of animal, there's a varietal and species of watering hole. There's watering holes that spray up out of the ground. There's watering holes that pour down from the top of the ground. There's waterfalls, there's geysers, there's rivers, there's hot springs, there's lagoons, there's pools, there's all different types of bodies of water. And you notice the king of them all stays low so that they could stay high. The ocean stays low so that all of the rivers and streams flow down to him. When we follow this natural order, when we allow the vulnerable to lead us, we will see that not only is a beautiful and biodiversified world with water slides, that a lot of these watering holes, we could even form them, make them water slides, just like we could terraform the plants, make trees into lounge chairs. So instead of having park benches, like there's all these giant trees with all these different swings and park benches and everything we can climb on, and there's different animals on different branches, and we're not afraid of snakes and lions and tigers anymore. I'm telling you that heaven on earth is coming, that it's going to be Avatar downstairs and Jetsons upstairs in the blink of an eye, that our information and technology is there, that Donald Trump is going to be our last president. He's going to do what he said. He's going to build up all the walls, but that's just his trauma. Donald Trump's going to heal his trauma. It's all going to fall down, and then the swamps are all going to be drained. He said he's going to drain the swamps. He's going to do it. We're not going to have any more governors or leaders. We're not going to have rules or laws or borders at all. We're going to be free. We're going to be free. And in being free and in being free ourselves, don't you think that other intelligent life forms are waiting for us? Don't you think that there's other life forms who've been visiting us and are waiting for us to become conscious and to join them in the Galactic Alliance? They are waiting for us, and they've been meeting with our world leaders and officials for a long time. And there's disclosure about this. And it's time. It's time, you guys. I'm so happy. And I'm so excited, and I love us so much. And it's time. And we're going to make it a wrap, you guys. It's already 8:30. I'm going to go for a skate. Unless you guys want to do some yoga. If you guys all put in the chat yoga, then we'll stay and do some yoga. And I'll end the live stream and start a new one. It'll just be titled yoga because I need like a 5-minute break. You guys want yoga? Alright, we're going to do yoga. So I'm going to leave the live stream on with the music actually. And I will be back and we will do our yoga. I'm going to need like 2-3 minute break. Okay, you guys, I'll be right back. Thank you for whoever's been listening to the live stream. Da, 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 da.
Superheroes, if you are standing or sitting down, I want you to come down to one knee. And I want you to look towards your knee, and I want you to smile. And put your elbow where your forehead is. And I want you to grab a hold of your fingers and pull. Do you feel powerful? Superheroes, I want you to feel the yoga coursing through you as you look forward, placing the strength and power of your grip about a millimeter in front of your forehead, and feel your vibratory field. Feel your energy. And with the strength of your pull, I want your arms to come apart and spread wide, and pull them back behind you as you bend back, using your front knee to balance you. Let your hands come down to the sides of you, and then up above your head. Bring your hands together into your heart. Superhero, make sure that your hair has been fluffed and you have a yoga mat or something that you want on the ground. Be prepared to put your face and forehead on something that you would put your face or forehead on. And if there is an area or space where you would not put your face or forehead, make sure that that is not where you're going to put it when I tell you to put your face on the ground. So I'll give you guys a couple seconds to get what you need. And I want you to get ready to get your yoga on. We're going to sit in an easy pose. And if any of you have tight knees, that's because you haven't been doing your yoga. So just take a moment and you can acknowledge, I haven't been doing my yoga. So now we're going to say, I'm going to do my yoga. I'm going to do my yoga. So grab your knees, especially if they're a little sore. Put them in front of you. And don't even let your legs have to do anything, because it feels like a massage. Squeeze your knees together with a hug stretch. A hug stretch is when you pull your hand down one time, and you have two straight arms, and you hug your knees with your elbows. And you can try to get your chin over the top. And you can do the other hand. Oh, I love hug stretching. Tell yourself, because you do. And massage your triceps on your knees and on your legs. And massage your biceps. Get a couple neck rolls in. Grab your toes, straightening one leg at a time. Keep straightening your legs, because it feels really good. I can tell it feels good for you. If it feels good for me, it probably feels good for you. That was wonderful. Now put your feet together like a foot high five. And grab hold of your toes and shimmy your booty back and your feet forward. And bring your elbows and hinge together while you hug your toes with your hands. And bring your forehead down to your thumbs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, and create a big rainbow. It's a circular motion with your arms, and then you do a little shoulder at the end. And then get them both into it. Good. Knees together. Hands next to your booty. Lift up into a reverse tabletop. And then come up onto your toes. So when you're up high onto your toes, that's called screaming toes. And now go up to your fingertips and assisting yourself to come up. I want to show you guys what screaming toes looks like. That's screaming toes. And you want your toes to stretch. Don't you? Of course you do. I know it hurts. You're so cute. Of course it hurts. That's where you want to go to. It hurts so good. So if you have damp hair, that is a good time to Disney Princess curl it. Part of yoga is not only working with the muscles and organs in our body, but also the muscles and organs in our face and on our head. So I want you to work on your face. I want you to sparkle. And I want you to smile as big as you can. And I want you to raise your cheekbones. Raise them. I want you to twinkle your eyes. And I want you're like, what do I do with my hands? That's easy. Caress yourself. Give yourself something to sparkle about. Give your eyes something to twinkle about. Think about how lovable you are. Because yoga, it's everything on your yoga mat. You're not supposed to think about anything off your yoga mat. So you stay right here on your yoga mat, my sweetheart. You do not think about anything else. You breathe really deep, just like I am. I like how you're breathing. You know I have TikTokulosis, so I could see you, right? Okay, good. Good. That's because you want me to see you. You're like, okay, you can see me. You know how loving I am. Get over here. Oh, look at you. Look at you, so cute. You're so adorable. Tell me what incredible positive change are you here to bring? What are you going to do? So first, we want to make sure we're ready for the part. We want to have Disney princess hair. I had 3 braids, and that was because when I first got out of the shower, I washed my hair in the bath, actually. I had 3 braids, and now I'm just going to do 2 braids. And also I want to show you guys how to Disney princess curl your hair, because this is yoga. So this is called hair yoga. What's the point of having a perfect body if your hair is not the flounciest, fluffiest fluffification sensation in the world? You're too fabulous not to have perfect hair. So that's a hair flip. There's all different kinds. And sometimes you could get the hands into it. So you could go like this, or you could go like this. Those are all acceptable. You can also use your fingers. Hair flip, shoulder. And you do a finger. So men, this is really important. You take your finger, and if you're helping a girl put her jacket on, you take your finger along the neck and you lift the hair for the jacket. And you don't ever put the jacket on the hair. You do not do that. Girls have their hair outside of the jacket. So Disney princess curl, you can do it with 2 braids, 1 braid. We're gonna do 2 braids. You can do 3 braids. I had 3 braids earlier. So Disney princess curl, you want to love engulf. These are lava fluffs. Now turn your hands into lava fluffs like this, with the intention to love and heal. You're doing such a good job. Look at your hands, and now look at your fingertips and say, if my hands are superheroes, my fingertips are super duper healers. And now, caressify. If you get a tingle and you go, then you're done. You did it. You can keep going a little bit. That's just, don't stop until you get that. So
We want volumification. So in order to get the most volume possible, we want to get the braid right like here and here, kind of like this area. Like, hey girl, hi. We don't want to be like, oh hi. And we don't want to be like, hello. We want to be like, hey girl. Right? So it depends what you want. If you want to be like, oh hello, just that's where you put it. So I'm gonna put it up here. Oh, look at the sideburn. You're the most lovable sideburn in the world. This is a $93 trillion sideburn. Oh, your gifts are worth $108 trillion. I've already seen you. So cute. You are so special. And that's what it means. There's no special one, and there's no amount of money that could ever afford our gifts. That's the whole point of it. So all I'm doing is a braid in the location I showed you guys. So that's what you do. You choose the location after caressification. So caressification, location, and then you have a braid-a-thon. And you want to do it like pull and love a fly. And think about how lovable your hair is the whole time. You're so... I love you so much. Think about how lovable and fluffy and bouncy. I can't believe you're the most fluffy, bouncy Disney Princess Ninja Turtle glow-in-the-dark hair in the world. And your hair will respond. I love you. I love you. Don't be afraid to receive your hair's love. Your hair really loves you. Oh, okay. So twist. This part's important. So see how I'm pulling it? And it's this loose, beautiful braid. So now I'm going to twist. And when I twist, it's like, I want it to be like a spiral curl. So it's going to be like, see, twist. This is a Disney princess curl, but not yet. So you go all the way down, twist, 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 and get a boop on the nose at the end. Oh, you're so... Just keep don't stop thinking about how lovable you are, you silly. Okay, and then you have to go all the way around, and then you flip. Disney princess curl. Sideburn fluff. And there's always fluffing to be done. Just because it's in a bun doesn't mean you want to fluff. And there's a lot of flouncing. You can't tell, but do you see how flouncy that is? So you may not be able to hair flip, but you could flounce. Okay, we could still hair flip on this side. So that's very flippy and fluffy. Whoa. Super fluffy. Okay, now we're gonna do here. Oh, whoa! Look at those sideburns. Okay, sideburns are really good. Most of us do not have this thick, magnificent, full sideburn going. But work with whatever you got. And you could flounce no matter what. You can have fluff and fuzz. You see all that fuzz? You could flounce with it. So always flounce. It's one of our superpowers. Government has missiles and rifles, but do they know about a flounce? Right? You saw how they acted about a tickle torture. They like called the whole National Guard. So crazy. And love on it. Yeah, feds locked me up and stuff. A flounce? So we're gonna do Disney Princess Curl. So the braid is important. The braid, like you pull it tight when you go to this, and then when you wrap it, you do go loose. But then you pull tight, but when you wrap it, it's loose, and that's why the braid looks pretty. So it's loose here, but then I tighten. So then it ends up being like neat but loose. Because if you don't tighten right there, then it is. And also every time you tighten, I love you. And you're telling your hair to be strong. You're so strong. Good job. You're doing good. You're so strong. You're doing so. I'm so proud of you. I can't believe it. You're doing so good. You're gonna be so fluffy. Look at you. Oh. You're a Disney princess. You are a fluffy Disney princess goddess. And you guys are the god squad. Okay, ready? So now we flip and flounce. Flip and flounce. Flip, flounce, flip, flounce, flip, flounce, flip, flounce, flip, flounce, flip, flounce. And now twist and twirl. Twist and twirl. And you flip it down with a whirl. Watch. Gorgeous. Holy goddess. Oh my goddess. Also, nipples, always you want them to point up. You do not want nipples to point down. And if you pull your nipples up, give yourself a breast lift. Don't gotta have to worry about, some women want to move the location of their nipple. Okay, well you could literally do it yourself by every day, multiple times a day. If you notice your nipples are down, you just pull them up. My father and I are twins. My father and I look a lot alike. I hear that a lot. So there's another way you could do Disney Princess Curl. In this case, my hair doesn't want to stay. So if your hair is long enough, I'm going to show you what to do. Some people's hair is not long enough. And if your hair is not long enough, then all you need is a string. And if your hair is not long enough, you just use that string to assist. And if a string's not enough, then you can just use a sock. Hey, Goddess. Rebecca. Goddess, I didn't see your comments. What do you want me to respond to? I did see the one about my dad, though. My dad's been on my mind, and I found out that my daughter's playing the violin and she's learning Bach. And I think that's cool. Yeah. By the way, this isn't my place. I am here because I'm using the Wi-Fi. Because whenever I do Wi-Fi at my place, it gets all crackly. So I'm doing the Wi-Fi here. All right, let's do some yoga. You guys ready? So start in a child's pose. And I just have a sheet on the ground. That's all I want. Because I like how the wood feels on my knees. My knees have been bugging me lately, so it feels really good. And tabletop to child's pose. Your knees go wide. Your toes come together. Come down to your elbows. And sit your tush back to your toes. And stretch your arms out. With your forehead on the ground. Take a few breaths. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Enjoy the stretch. Walk your fingers out forward, or you could rest them under your chin if you're looking up, or under your forehead if you're looking down. your hands under your chest and push yourself up, sitting back into your heels and tucking your toes under. Bringing your knees under your armpits. You guys see okay? And then from here, come down into tabletop. Inhale, look up. Arch your spine. Bring your belly down. Looking up at the sky. And then arch your back the opposite direction. Look up at your belly button. This is a cat pose. And then the other one is a cow pose. Bring your belly down, look up. Come back into tabletop. Inhale, put your right arm out in front of you. Bring your gaze to your fingers on your next breath. Inhale, lengthen and straighten your strong left leg. Planting your left hand into the mat and your right knee into the mat. And then reach back and grab your ankle and kick into your hand. With perfect form, breathe, draw your belly up and in. And pull your gaze up towards your third eye, kicking and reaching. And then come back into a tabletop. And now this time, reach your left arm out and your right leg, lengthening and straightening your body. Grounding your right hand and your left knee into the earth. Kicking and reaching forward and backward. And then when you're ready, reach for your ankle and kick into your hand. Lengthening your neck and your spine as you feel the stretch in your knee and your hip. And kick deeper and harder. Staying focused. And then come down into a tabletop. Circling the hips. And lifting the knees. Coming up onto your toes and your hands. And then slowly straightening your legs into a downward facing dog. And what's cool is I have the wall behind me, so I could use it to help. So now, when I lift my legs, the wall can help me. Or I could just do it without the wall. And then lift the other leg. And now step in between your hands with your right leg. Coming down to your elbows. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and then reach up to the sky. And then place your hand back down. Push up with two straight arms. Bring your back foot to the ground and then reach up to the sky with your left arm. Coming back into a plank, rocking forward and backwards, You're moving back into a downward dog. Step your left foot in between your hands. And come down to your elbows. This is called a lizard pose. And then lift your left arm to the sky. Straighten both of your arms. Back foot comes down and lift your right arm to the sky. Come back into plank. Rock forwards and backwards. Move back into downward dog. And now you're going to bring your arms forward, interlace your fingers behind your neck, and rock your head back and forth. Now step on your hands. Your toes going all the way to your wrist. Your belly is on your thighs, and you straighten your legs as much as you can, bringing the crown of your head down to the earth. Here, I'm going to make it so you guys can see better. Because there's a mirror there. So you should be able to feel your spine pop out. So you're standing with your feet all the way to your wrist, your toes to your wrist. And then bend your knees a lot so your elbows go under your armpits. And then come into a squat. And if you can come all the way up on your toes, do that. Put your heels together. And then push your knees apart with your hands. And when you're balanced, bring your hands up to your chest. Beautiful. And you can also do it on your feet. You can bring your heels as close as you want. So, either way. Now, put your arms on the outside of your knees. Come back on your booty. And lift your feet up, come into a boat pose. And then from here, we're going to come onto our side, putting your right leg on the ground. And lift your left leg up to the sky. Come back onto your elbow, reach for your leg, and then lean back, exalting your neck. Kick your toes into your hand. And then pointing your toes, bringing your knees into your belly. You push your arms straight and kick into your hand, and that motion pushes you up, like that. So you don't just stay down. And then you do the next leg. So arm goes behind you. Bring your toes into your hand. And then you come down back onto your elbow. And then from the elbow, you let your neck kick back. Feels very lovely. Exalting the pose. And if you kick your toes and stretch your foot versus pulling the toes back, you're stretching different muscles, obviously. So try all of it. And then when you're ready, kind of kick in. You don't have to bring your knee down if you think you can just kick and push into your arm. And that way we're not just moving around in yoga and having to do yoga poses, but we could do ninja stuff and learn how to get our body in poses where we could get up, and we learn how to spin and flip and move in ways that our body, it feels good and it doesn't get hurt. And if we fall or lose our balance, our body will be used to doing this already. So now both of our legs are straight. We're going to take our gaze and our arms up to the sky, lengthen our spine, bring our shoulders down. Inhale, lengthen even more, and then exhale, reach for your toes and fall forward. Inhale, lengthen as you pull your toes and stretch the back of your legs even more, pulling as hard as you can, and then exhale, fold forward. See if you can get your forehead to touch your knees while your legs are straight. And if you have to bend your knees, that's okay. And then your hands, when they come up, you don't just like bring your hands up. Feel your hands on your legs and maybe give yourself like a squish. Just like, what does it feel like to feel this part of the leg? And give every part of your leg a squish. Maybe your kneecaps want a harder squish. And in order to really feel it, your quads and the higher muscles need an even harder squish. So that's part of the yoga too, giving ourselves a good squish. Now we're going to take our left leg and bring it into the inner thigh. And we're going to give ourselves a caress and say, you could do this every time better because you're putting in the program and you're getting more flexible and more strong. And you inhale and you lengthen. And then you exhale and you look at your toes. Think about how lovable you are. And you pull. You pull in your toes and you kick. Wish you could see my toes when we do it. Look how lovable my toes are. Look. Look at those toes. Think about your toes too. Reach down for your toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And look at your toes and fall in love with them. Like, how would your mom look at your toes? Come on. You're so lovable. I knew you'd think about that. You're so lovable. So now inhale, bring your foot up. And now we're in a diva blee. So fold forward. Exhale. Inhale, grab the toes, kick out. Yeah. And now you're gonna lengthen. Put your arms to the sky, gaze up to the sky. And fold forward. And notice if there's a difference on this side. I've been telling you guys, my knee is getting stronger and more powerful. I want to do an ice bath. Will you guys do an ice bath with me if I do one? Because that's what my body wants. My body wants an ice bath every single day. I want all of us to do an ice bath. And I'm talking to myself. And until I start to do these things, I talk about them every day. I'm going to do ice bath every day. I'm going to do ice bath every day. And guess what? Now I'm starting to do ice bath more and more and more. We're starting to make the ice a regular thing, and I've got the whole ice bath, everything's set up at multiple locations that I like to go because now my friends are wanting to do ice bath too. Well, I got ice bath at Kingdom's place and my place. But we're thinking, why not do this at the beach? Why not do this at Healing Arts Dojo? Everyone should be able to have ice bath and they should be able to have yoga. So now bring your feet together and we're all facing forward with our feet together, and one at a time you're gonna practice putting your foot behind your head. And you basically just begin by holding your foot like a little baby, and you can pick up your right foot first if you want, and then just practice what's it like to have my foot, and hold it and then get it closer to your head. And I want you to envision putting your whole entire leg behind your head.
And what's really good about this is if you have a tight knee like me and you're used to skateboarding a lot, or if you like to run, getting loose knees is going to be really, really life-saving for you. You're going to have a beautiful quality of life. It's going to be life-saving. You're going to have more vitality, energy, and you will feel good. You'll feel amazing. Forget pain and being pain-free. You're going to feel incredible. Give yourself a massage. If your knee hurts, it means that there's crankle-ankle in your calf. So massage your calf and your foot really hard. And then try again, put it behind your head. And then after a good stretch, give yourself another massage. And we're gonna do it one more time, okay? So this time put your foot down and really massage your calf and just let your leg know. We're gonna go behind the head, okay? Foot, you're gonna go behind the head. And you start thinking about you're gonna start going behind the head. If you look at your hands, you say, hands, your feet. Then your hands, you're gonna start doing handstands. You're gonna start walking on your hands because I told your hands they're feet. So you look at your feet, you say feet, your hands. Why do you think I walk on bodies and it feels like a massage? I want you guys to think about this. So I'm done massaging here. Now you're gonna basically sitting down, you can put this foot down so it's stable, and then this foot up, and you're just gonna hook it, and now try to put it behind the head. Notice how it almost went? Okay. Now this time, we're gonna do this side. And it's really good for the knees. So give yourself a good calf massage. And now get ready. Get it behind your head. You're doing awesome. Keep going. Keep going. And now give your leg a hug. Massage your calf. Alright, let's do it one more time. Pick it up and whatever you gotta do, get it back there. Amazing. Alright, now I want you to come down to your elbows. And bring your forehead to the ground. Sit back to your heels. And reach with your left hand for your left ankle. And kick into it. And then now, replace your elbow and sit back into your left hip and get grounded in your left toes. Get ready to reach back with your right hand, grab your right ankle and kick. Inhaling and exhaling. And you can be up on your toes or down on the top of your foot. And really kick into it. Feel your strong leg stretch. Feel your shoulder come out of the socket. Feel how strong and stretchy you are. And then slowly come back to your knees and elbows and sit your booty back into a screaming toes pose. Bring your hands together, look up, and bring them down to your heart. Alright guys, that's what's up. I feel at capacity for doing the yoga stuff. And we've been live streaming for a really long time. It's been like 3 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. We're gonna do a lot of stretching together, you guys. I do my live streams on the floor, so if you guys are sitting on the floor when you're doing your stuff during the day, you'll find that it's really, really easy to get your stretching in.
And when you guys sit on furniture, it's harder to be stretchy. So think about that. All right, you guys? I love you, and I release you, and thank you for doing yoga for yourself, and thank you for being loving and life enriching gradually more and more, having a healthier diet, healthier relationships, a personal development practice, creating together in your relationships, having boundaries and standards of levels of respect and kindness. That if people don't give you that and meet your standards, you don't let people go past your standards. You're not available for that. And I honor and acknowledge you in your work, and I love and release you. And we'll talk to you soon. I'm gonna be live streaming Monday through Friday, and on the weekends, King Big Ben, who works very long hours, he's gone 13, 14 hours a day sometimes. So we have Saturday and Sunday together, and we love to pour our love into each other. And we do pour our love into each other in the morning and also at night. And we have a grooming practice. We have a co-worship practice. We have a massage practice where we massage each other. We have a movement practice where we move. We do hot cold therapy together. If you have healthy healing activities you do with your partner, you will not fight. You also need to have a warm, positive space of unconditional belonging, of love, trust, transparency, truth. And then the third thing that you need, learning and growth mindset, so you can make mistakes and love each other up. And then the positive space with unconditional belonging, that's the second thing. And then the third thing is you got to create together. If you're not creating together and doing something new, and that means like Big Ben helps me with my meaning and purpose. He's helping me put together a business plan. He's helping me figure out ideas on how to meet my needs, and how to write things out and get organized on what goals do I have. I'd never even thought about putting my goals down. He's helping me with that. So how we must be creating together so that we're empowering each other, not so we're building triangles and doing negative things that we're creating. And if we don't have those three things, then we'll start to fight. We'll start to do the negative stuff. So I know that I don't know because I wasn't taught the way of being, but I do know that I continue to ask more empowering questions, and that I'm a loving, life-enriching presence, a light in this world. Source energy moves in and through me and comes out of me in my thoughts, in my words, and my deeds and my actions and my intentions are all the same. And I am so authentic to the point where I break out in the metal bracelets because people don't want to always listen to my truth. So I call these outbursts, and outbursts, it's kind of like if you're traumatized. So I don't have any diagnosis except PTSD from being alienated from my kids. So, but I get so emotional because I don't like to see a world of concrete and scarcity and separation when I know that a world of abundance and togetherness and co-regulation is possible. I know that we're not meant to feel powerless and hopeless. I know that we're meant to feel blissful and ecstatic to be alive because our meaning and purpose leads the way, and there's no resistance between us and our meaning and purpose in the 4 areas I identify: learning, teaching, giving, and receiving. And when our meaning and purpose comes alive, our soul comes alive, and we self-actualize. And that's why I'm Daisy the Venice Healer. I'm here to awaken and unite you. That's my meaning and purpose. It is 1 or 2 things that you are here to do, and that I am here to do. And we cannot all be Daisy the Venice Healer here to awaken and unite us, because if all of us awaken and unite, we're all going to be awakening and uniting all the time. That's going to be boring. So we don't want that. We want everyone to have their own meaning and purpose. My father was just to play the violin. My mom probably to garden and nurture something really loving. What's your meaning and purpose? I'm here to awaken and unite us. I chose the path of a superhero, and it also chose me. And in a way, I had no choice, and also because it's me. That's your meaning and purpose. You got no choice, and there's no other way, and it's you. And to the point where if anyone tells me to not be a superhero, then it's a part of me. I have a physical reaction, and I want that to happen for you. I want you to have a physical reaction. That is what you are here to do. You are a superhero. I want to know what kind of superhero. And you will have a physical reaction. If someone says something about it to you, you're going to be like, ooh. Because that's you. And you're a star. And that would never be for sale in a world of balance. It would never, no one could afford you. And that's why we sell out when we become more worker. That's why when we become part of a market economy, we create more scarcity and resistance and learning, growing, teaching, learning, teaching, receiving, and giving. And what's cool about that is we get to tickle torture that part of ourselves and be like, "Aw, you're so violent and lovable." And even nuclear weapons, we get to tickle torture them and be like, "You're so violent and lovable." And that's just really cool. What do you think? And Denon says Trump 2028. No, Donald Trump says he wants to drain the swamp, so there's not going to be any more president after him. He's going to be done draining the swamp. That's what's going to happen. Who's lovable? I love you guys, and I release you. Keep loving